Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Doing Things with Carter. And on today's episode, all I'm going to talk to you about is starting Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, right? I have been doing Jiu Jitsu now for about 5 years. I'm a 30-year-old blue belt hobbyist, and I absolutely love the sport. I train now anywhere from 4 to 7 days a week, depending on whether I have my kid or not, and all sorts of other factors. But I will tell you that entering that sport has been absolutely life changing for me. I would say the biggest thing that I have taken from that sport and have been able to apply it to other things is the ability to problem solve under pressure. Once you can deal with someone on top of you, trying to smash the life out of you, trying to break your limbs, and you don't mentally check out of that situation, you can not mentally check out of a lot of situations. It just makes it a lot easier to not fold when the going gets tough, right? But I get a lot of questions about starting it, what to expect, all sorts of stuff. So I will say that for me, like most people, probably the most intimidating part is going to be walking through the door for the first time. I myself had a misconception about the type of people that you were going to meet when you're getting in there. I thought you were going to, kind of like when SpongeBob and Patrick go to that bar in the very bottom depths, and it's just full of, rough, tough, crazy looking people that look like they're just gonna take you and kidnap you, whatever. But I'll tell you what, in my experience, it's almost the exact opposite. Most everybody who you come into contact with when you do this sport are awesome, humble people. Of course, you're gonna have outliers. You're gonna have assholes. You're gonna have bad gyms, bad toxic people, bad cultures. Of course, but the overwhelming majority in my experience has been great. Um, I'll say for the first days, the biggest tip I'll give you guys is just come hydrated and hygienically prepared. I would say a lot of people don't, think about stuff, but you got to cut your nails so you don't scratch your partner. You don't want to be stinking because no one wants to roll around with someone who's stinking. No one wants to sit there and smell your BO, right? So you just got off work or whatever, go take a shower, trim your nails, clean your ears, just be clean, because at the end of the day, you are rolling right next to on top of somebody. Your skin is going to be touching their skin, so the last thing you want is to be known as a stinky guy, because trust me, people will avoid your rolls if you're that guy. The next thing I will say is be hydrated. I've met all sorts of people who have come from all sorts of walks of life, super fit runners, marathon runners, power lifters, cyclists, all sorts of other stuff. But the level of cardio that you'll get from this activity is unlike anything else. So, biggest part coming in is stay hydrated. Other thing too, if you're, some of you people probably won't have this problem, but some of you will probably be like me and kind of have an ego going in about yourself. A lot of guys, we overestimate our abilities. When I started, I was about 200 pounds. I was powerlifting all the time. And when I went in my first couple classes, I got smoked by people who were 140 pounds and didn't even look like they were trying. So definitely learn to keep your ego checked at the door, but make sure to have fun. Go into it with an open mind. Go into it with the idea of having fun. I know it kind of seems crazy to some people that, wrestling around and trying to break and choke people is fun, but it just is. If you're like me, and I just have a great time doing it. It's you get creative, you sit there and laugh. You have training partners who you trust and develop that trust with over time, so you can try certain stuff and they're not going to actually try to hurt you. So yeah, if you're thinking about starting jiu-jitsu, man, just go ahead and do it. It has been absolutely life-changing for me. I have met some of the best people I've ever met in my entire life because of this sport. It has helped me keep me mentally even when I was going through some of the worst problems in my entire life. So highly, highly recommend. But yeah, first day of jiu-jitsu, just go do it.